This is installment number 2 of the Digging Into the El Mocambo series. Today we're going to look at So Excited. It's the next song on the set list. Texas Shuffle, you know, it's kind of a march in a way. Stevie was really influenced by Ray Sharp and the Razor Blades, and that's really what you're seeing. You're seeing a song like Linda Lou. You know, things like that, of that nature, that style, and basically added his soul to it, his passion to it, and you kind of get that really, you know, down and dirty Texas feel. In that song, it's very climactic, and he starts off with a normal vibrato, and as the song progresses, it builds up into this crazy, you know, aggressive vibrato, and then he brings it down with the really cool kind of stuff. There's a cool, I'm not going to talk about this lick, but there's also another one that's really cool, and it adds some build up and some suspense to it, and it's that repeating. You know, so that's another one to talk about. Maybe at the end of this one I can show you that. The one I'm going to talk about now is when he's coming out of the first set of turnarounds, and it's on the 5. He does this really cool kind of stop and go and brings it on home. So I'm going to talk about that one now. It's an A tuned to E flat, obviously, and it's got that series of licks and phrases and vibratos. So coming out of that, he does out of that first series of licks, he does this really cool turnaround lick on the 5 chord. So what he's doing is obviously playing in the A minor pentatonic, and he's bending up on the G string. It's a foundational blues lick I taught a while back. He's going back and forth from the 5th to the 8th. On the G string. That's a really tricky one that sometimes I don't see really played right. It's not really how it goes. Then you go back to the root. That note is the G string on the 8th fret again. Then back to that foundational blues lick. Partial bend on the 8th fret of the high E. Just my flavor on it, my taste on it, but this is somewhat really close to what he's doing. Stop and go again. So the key parts of that foundational, if you break it down into 2 parts, then you have this part. With that part. Or you can go. There's so many ways to come out of this channel. Way back I did a quick lick on here called the Foundational Blues Lick. And all of those kind of licks are included in there, but you have your... I'll also show you that repeating lick there, that helps build up suspense into a solo. So what I'm doing there is the foundational blues lick, G string on the eighth, so it's a series of 5/8 root, 5/8 root, 5/8. So there you go, that's a quick look from So Excited. It's the second song in the set list. We got Voodoo Child coming up soon. Definitely, you know, take your time with those licks, and if you slow it down and approach it from a slow standpoint first and wrap your head around what's going on, is it kind of just comes to you a little easier, and you can add your own speed up, slow down, whatever you want to do to it. But it's right there, and again, it is in my style. It's not in, I'm not trying to copy it note for note, because who wants to do that? You know what I mean? It's just kind of an insight as to what is going on there. Also, I wanted to mention that at the end of this series, I'm going to talk about the tone of El Mocambo and the amp setup and what he was doing there, because I think that's essentially important too. It's probably one of the most badass bar gigs, you know, and you're seeing a real stripped down Stevie using blackface amps, and it's a bar gig, and it's a pretty badass, you know, bar gig. So I want to basically talk about the tone going on in there, but that'll be at the end once we've gone through the entire set list. Just using my 59 Strat still, my Tube Screamer, early TS9, 1981 TS9, still TS808 specs. It's got a really cool chip in there. And I'm using custom by Cougar, kind of a steel string singer 75 watt head, and that seems to be pretty good. That's it. There's the second installment. We got, like I said, we got the whole set list coming, so Voodoo Child's gonna come up next. Thanks for checking out the video. Hope everybody enjoys the Sunday, and we'll see you soon.